Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Nicole Pitron, and today I'll be presenting my critical reflection on child development theories and learning. I will elaborate further on specific theories in relation to physical, social, emotional, and cognitive development, as well as considering their effectiveness with diversity in mind. Children develop in a complex environment, made up of many levels of influence. United States immigrant Yuri Bronfenbrenner is undoubtedly the more widely known developmental systems theorist and came up with the bioecological model of human development in 1979. In this model, you can clearly see that children have access to multiple interacting environmental systems which provide them with multiple opportunities for growth. In the microsystem, family is crucially important, ideally loving the child and offering daily informal lessons on becoming a participative member of society. Further to this, the mesosystem includes such members as teachers, friends, and neighbours. Their regular interaction with the child means their gravity on child's development is close to that of family. The next layer to the system is the ecosystem, where their extended family and friends come into consideration. Macrosystem is inclusive of social interactions with communities of worship, community services such as police or doctors, as well as the child's cultural values and practices. Finally, the chronosystem considers influences from law and the political system, social welfare systems, science and technology, as well as the economy. Developmental systems theories capture it all: nature, nurture, and children's behaviour or activities. The interactivity between the layers of these complex environments ironically make it quite difficult to predict any single factor in the development of a child due to their intertwined nature. As children grow older, their development can shift in ways that they may no longer consider the opinions or perspectives of their family members as being more valuable than that of a friend or a colleague. This, of course, is subject to individuality and what personal experiences a child has. Here you can see an overview of the 3 developmental issues which could impact upon physical, cognitive, and social-emotional development of a child. Developmental challenges can often be summated into these 3 categories. In the next 3 slides, we'll further explore what changes in development can be found in the 3 age categories of birth to 2 years, 2 to 6 years, and 6 to 12 years, as well as the developmental theories that support and demonstrate them. Physical development will be the first aspect of developmental theories I will discuss. As suggested, children in different age groups evoke different stages of physical development. As their bodies grow stronger, bones become denser, as well as their muscle mass improves. Their body suddenly enables them to do more things. And not only that, their body changes at a rapid rate from the ages of 10 and above, when they begin to change from young children into adolescents. To begin with, newborns often excite their parents when they achieve milestones such as rolling over, crawling, picking up objects, as well as other things. It's an achievement to see your baby starting to manipulate their bodies and explore the new world that they live in. When children begin to feed themselves with their hands or with cutlery, it can be quite disheartening to see them throwing food to the ground, but they are simply doing scientific observations of the world. Perhaps they are thinking, what could happen if I let this spoon go? As Arnold Gesell suggested, growth and development occur in an orderly sequence and in stages. Between the ages of 2 and 6, children demonstrate an increased ability in their motor skills. Suddenly, children can run, skip, and throw objects in a way that is practical and effective. They no longer run with their hands flailing around, or throw a ball with a push-style motion. Children also begin to develop some dignity in their self-care and personal hygiene. Developing a routine of toothbrushing, showering, and brushing their hair are just some examples of this. After the age of 6, but prior to adolescence, children develop more fine, complex motor skills, performing specific movements for sports, riding a bike, or learning to create art rather than scribbling, and writing in cursive. The physical act of handwriting is a complex one. It requires the integration of perceptual motor skills and higher level cognitive skills and the kinesthetic process of writing, which is linked to the writing achievements. Social emotional development theories, such as Kohlberg's, focus on moral development and reasoning. His theory suggests that moral reasoning, a necessary condition for ethical behaviour, has 6 development stages, each being more adequate at responding to moral dilemmas than its predecessor. These stages are shown in these 3 age categories of development. The pre-conventional level relating to birth to 2-year-old children. Children in this age category begin comprehending what actions create positive and negative reactions and how to manipulate their actions to get the most beneficial outcomes. Children begin showing a sense of ownership and self-worth by saying such words as me, you, no, and stop. Kohlberg's second stage of moral reasoning is the conventional level. This is best represented in the 2 to 6 year category. Children understand desires of being good or bad. They develop an ability to prolong gratification as well as sharing their toys and mildly understanding what their own desires, beliefs, and cultural values are. In 6 to 12 years, children are able to reflect upon their own abilities compared to others, as well as being longing for play with children of a similar age or gender or physical ability to themselves. They start considering others' abilities and how they can be incorporated into their play or not. Children also start to consider rules within their home as well as basic moral principles within the school grounds and in public spaces. Finally, the third developmental theory is cognitive. Theorists who explored cognitive development have often come to the realization that cognitive development depends on a diverse array of constructs and postulates and can often be misinterpreted or misunderstood. From ages of birth to 12 years, children's cognitive development improves, but is also highly dependent on the emotional and physical experience that they have. A baby will be able to communicate through sound, distinguish familiar faces, and react to someone that they know, whereas a child between the ages of 2 and 6 start being able to recall events of the past or remember stories which were read to them. Perhaps they will begin asking their parents to reread their favourite story to them over and over again because it sparks an emotional connection with them. Children above the ages of 6 start logically reasoning about objects and events. They begin considering their environment with a more scientific approach. Educators also start exposing them to more mathematics, literacy and numeracy, as well as other specific streamlined academic subjects. So, the final area I will discuss today is diversity. Educators need to understand that their students are diverse and different in many ways, and that this will require different approaches to learning. We can understand that the basic developmental pathways of a child from birth to 12 years is fundamentally similar, but children are unique and exemptions to developmental pathways are inherent. Cultural values, physical environments and variables in the genetic makeup of a child are just some factors which contribute to diverse developmental outcomes in children. Children often experience challenges in life, such as their parents divorcing, grieving the loss of a family member or a pet, having an accident which impairs them physically, or even being born with a physical or cognitive disability which impairs their developmental pathway. Educators need to face these challenges at hand and embrace them, to structure learning which is diverse and applicable to children of different ability, such as that they don't fall into one developmental mould. A good educator considers all of these things and is able to recognise differences in their students. I hope this presentation has given you some insight into child development and learning. Thank you very much for watching.